Hello everyone, this is the TheUNOGuy for you, and today I'm gonna start a new series on Arduino, my favorite things actually. So because this is the first episode, I'm gonna be explaining what is Arduino, where Arduino can be used, and what are the components of the Arduino. Okay, and soon we're gonna be learning about the programming language, this that. So yeah, let's get started. So this is the Arduino that we're gonna be using. It's called the Arduino Uno. There are different types of boards. These boards have microcontrollers on them. What are microcontrollers? They're basically the processors of the board. The processors, in the sense, they're like the brain of the board. They give instructions to the board. They tell what to do and stuff. So you can take a look very closely. We're going to be using the Arduino Uno. There are different versions of the Arduino. The Arduino Un, the Arduino Nano. There are high-level boards like the Portana H7, the Intel processing board. The processor right here, you can see this big processor. That will be Intel in some boards, and but we are just going to start off with a bigger, a small, what to say, beginner's board. Everybody uses this when they start off with Arduino. Now, yeah, so Arduino is actually an Italian company which makes circuit boards, and these can be used everywhere. We can make small things like LED blinking. We can go off to big things like home automation, and I'll be teaching about home automation a bit as well, but not for now. That's like in the 60th episode or something. Not for now. We're going to start off with Arduino and its basics today. So let's go. So now we're going to see the different types of the Arduino Uno. Two types. One is the normal Arduino Uno and the other is the Arduino SMD edition. Now what is the difference between these two? And obviously there is only one big main difference, and that is the processor of the board. I'll be talking about it in a few minutes, but these are the processors of the board. This is smaller than this. Other than that, there is no other change. Both function exactly the same. And yeah, because you can see on top here is written the SMD edition, but here there is nothing. This is normal Arduino Uno, while this is the SMD edition. Both of these are also available in blue color. This is like greenish, but they are also available in blue, and blue is the one that I actually have. So now we are going to be looking at the different parts of the Arduino Uno. So as I told you, there is a huge bulky processor on the board, and in the SMD edition, it's actually smaller. So here it is this big processor which I have circled. You can see it's huge. It's called the ATmega 328. Okay, in older versions of the board, it's called the ATmega 128. Now the ATmega 328 is much more powerful, has more storage space, etc., etc., because this is the better processor than the ATmega 168. Now we have what is that? A small other microcontroller. This is also an Atmega 328, which actually helps in debug. We'll be talking about debugging in future videos, so not for now. Now then we have these small, black things which have a hole in them, and they're even labeled as you can see here. Now these things are called the pins. You can see they're here, they are here. So these pins actually give an input and an output. Now you can see they're labeled as power, analog in, and digital pins. Now what I'm going to be doing is that I'm going to be telling you about the different types. So you can see there's 3.3 volt, there's 5 volt, there's ground, and there's an other ground. Now, what are these things? Now, 3.3 volt is basically the positive terminal, or the output. For everything, there's a positive and a negative terminal. If you have a motor, then it should have a positive and a negative terminal, right? You can't just have a negative or a positive. You should have both. So, when the positive terminal goes to 5 volts or 3 volts, and the negative terminal goes to ground. You can connect them using jumper wires, which I'll tell you in the next video, or you can just connect them using normal wires. Okay, so that's how you do it. And Yeah, because ground is basic negative terminal, 3.3 and 5 volts are basically the positive terminals. The IOREF and the WIN and the reset pin we'll be talking about in future videos. Just for now, you can tell that the IOREF and the WIN pin are basically 5-volt outputs. You can just consider them like that. Now we have the analog pins and the digital pins over here. Now what are these? Now basically these are like, for example, if you connect a motor, right, it spins in one direction and and you cannot control the speed. But here we can actually control the direction and the speed using analog and digital pins. We have to program. And yeah, I didn't tell you about the programming language used in Arduino. It's actually C++, or you can, even if you know C, it's fine because it's actually modified. It's derived from C++ and C. Okay. If you know this, Arduino is going to be easy for you, or if you even don't know, it's fine. I'll be teaching from scratch. Now we also have LEDs on here, right? We have the TX and RX LEDs. We have the on. Now, what are these LEDs? Now, for example, if you connect your Arduino to your computer using a special cable, which I've shown here right now, then this LED will turn on. Okay, this will become green or red depending on your Arduino model. And then this is an an inbuilt LED which will control. Okay, and I'll be telling you more about it soon. So this LED also is orange or red in color depending on your Arduino model. The TX and RX pins are orange or red. We'll be discussing about that in future videos. They're basically transmission and receiving LEDs, which I'll be telling you how to do. And you can see there's a reset button. Basically this button, if you reset, your code will run from the first. For example, you have 10 lines of code, then your code will run from the first line to the 10th line again. Okay, so it's not deleting anything on your Arduino Uno. Now this is the place, I told you, this cable to connect to the computer, so we'll leave that. Here is a 9-volt barrel jack. This thing, if you have the special cable, it's a small connector as was shown in screen. Connect a 9-volt battery and you can actually power up the Arduino. You can't upload or put any code on the Arduino, but you can obviously power up the Arduino or run your code if you're remote. For example, you don't have a computer and just want to run your code, you can power in a 9-volt battery and you can run your code if, I mean, you're remote and your computer is not near you. So yeah, that's it. These are like these reduce the voltage from 9 volts to 5 volts. Yeah, 5 volts. So for use by the Arduino Uno. And yeah, this there's nothing more to actually explain here. We'll be talking about this, not for now at least, because it's a bit different. And you can see the Arduino and the Uno symbol is right there. Okay, a bit more about the pins because I didn't really explain it, right? So what is the difference between analog and digital? I'll be discussing in 1 minute. But what do these pins do? Right now, as I told, ground is negative, and eh, with these pins you can actually control whatever you want. For example, you attach an LED between 3.3 and ground, right? It'll always be on. But when you connect it to a digital pin or an analog pin and you actually program the Arduino, so you can make the LED blink, you can actually even make it fade. So if you program it to for the LED to be on pin number 13, then the ground is negative and the pin number 13 becomes positive terminal. So you can actually, if the LED here has the negative and positive, you can just go and connect them both easily, and whatever program you wrote to make it fade, blink, or whatever, yeah, it will take place. This is obviously when the Arduino is connected to the board. Now, what is the difference between these two? It's very simple. First thing, there are 13, actually 14, including 0, and digital pins. But on the analog, there are only 6 pins, right? It's fine. There are only 6 pins. We won't be using these. In fact, in future videos, we're going to be talking how to use a digital pin as an analog pin. So digital pins are going to be our primary thing here, not analog pins. And what is that? Analog pins can give an output ranging from 0 to 255. Okay, whereas digital pins can only give an output of 0 and 1, and it's fine because you're going to make them act like analog, so they can even give this output. So yeah, this is cool actually. Just that, because in an LED, right, we don't need to make it act like an analog thing, because you make an LED blink, there are two states, right? There's going to be off and on. Off is going to be 0, 1 is going to be on. When making fade and stuff, you can directly use the analog pin, or we can make the digital pin act like an analog pin. So yeah, that's all. Let me go back. So thank you so much for watching this video. I hope you enjoyed it, and I hope you want more of this Arduino series, because I'll be explaining like all the sensors and everything in the series. So if you really like this, please like, share, and subscribe to our channel. Thank you so much. Bye bye.